Hi guys, welcome back to Balls Fan TV, and today we're back with another video doing the match reaction to last night's 1-0 win against Cork City at Mount Park. A win's a win. Wasn't a great performance, but look, to get back-to-back home victories, another 3 points was all that mattered. And yeah, look, we left it late, but thankfully we got over the line in the end. On the game, really, first half, I thought we were pretty poor, very passive, struggled to create chances, struggled to break them down. Cork probably had the better chances, really, for being honest. They had one, cleared off the line from Ross Tierney, the header from the corner, and then I think the Casper had to make a save on the front post as well. And yeah, I thought they were probably the better side in the first half. Not by a lot, but marginally the better side. And look, there was a lot of animosity in the stands. Very, like I said, very passive in the first half. A lot of backwards passes, sideways passes. Struggled to create any chances. And yeah, look, it was disappointing. But second half, it was probably more the same, really. In the early stages, they were happy enough to sit back and protect the point. We had a lot of the ball, but couldn't do anything with it, really. But I thought it was the substitutions, really, that won us the game in the end. Bringing on the likes of Brennan, Clark, Rooney, McManus. I thought they made really good impacts off the bench. Just that extra bit of quality that we had, which helped us get over the line. In the latter stages of the game, we were in the ascendancy. We were threatening from open play. We didn't have loads of shots on goal, but set pieces, we had put in a couple of good deliveries, and we had a few dangerous moments that we could have took the lead from, but it was the 85th minute in the end, that where we got the goal. The ball comes out to McManus from the corner, hits the first time, good hit. And look, it's 1-0, and I'm delighted for McManus that he got to have that moment, because we all know that he's had horrible luck with injuries over the last year, and to have that moment to score in front of the Jody and run over, was great for him. And look, I'm delighted for him, because I think his performances as of late have deserved that as well. I was a bit surprised to see that he was dropped for the game last night. Because I thought his performances had actually been very good since he's come into the team. But look, yeah, delighted for him to get that goal and have that moment. And yeah, look, I think himself and the other substitutions made really good impacts, and that probably helped us get over the line in the end. Just that extra bit of quality that we could bring off the bench to swing the game in our favour. But look, in terms of the overall performance, I think we're gonna have to see something a lot better on Monday if we want to get a result. We all know our record out in Tallinn is pretty poor, but yeah, we're gonna have to see something a lot better if we want to get even a point from the game. Because they're starting to get a bit of form now, and it will be tough. But yeah, look, to get another home victory was important, and we managed to do that. And we've been very critical of our home form over the last year, and rightly so. It's been a disgrace, really. But to get back home victories, that shows that we are improving, results wise anyway at home, and hopefully that can continue. But look, a couple of big games coming up now, 2 derbies in a week. Big week for Reynolds, possibly, because even though we won last night, no one's going to be bragging about that performance, really. We were probably better in games that we've lost this season. I think back to Galway a couple of weeks back, we were probably better in that game, and we got nothing from it, of course. So that's that's a concerning thing, really. And I think if we were to suffer 2 heavy defeats in the week, you'd struggle to see how we could continue, really. But look, it's mad that we're saying that after a win, but that's the reality, really. But look, hopefully we'll get a bit of confidence from last night, even though we didn't play that well, and we'll take it into the next couple of games and hopefully get a couple of good results and kick on from there. But look, not a great performance. Substitutions changed the game, really. Cork are probably, I'd say they probably left a bit frustrated, really, and rightly so, because if they're a little bit more braver, they probably could have got something from the game. They did push a little bit in the second half at times, I saw last night, I actually didn't realise that at the time. They had a good chance to equalise right at the end. I think they had a free header, that they couldn't put, they couldn't get it into the net. Casper was there to save it, and we got out of jail in that sense. So look, thankfully we hung on for the 3 points. Like I said, 2 big games coming up this week, and hopefully we can, get 2 good results and kick on from there. So yeah, that's where I'll end it. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment down below what you thought about the game, and I'll see you for the preview for the Rovers game tomorrow. Bye bye.